Welcome back to Crypto Future. We're going to talk a little bit about this whole Prometheum situation a little bit here. This is hilarious. Okay, guys, stick with me here. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Um, so, my first thoughts on Prometheum and what they're doing, right? Now, this part's my opinion. I have an article here I'm going to read to you guys, but this is my opinion on Prometheum right now, okay? So, you have an exchange that doesn't sell any digital assets. No, doesn't sell. You can't buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, not even those two on there, right? And they're out there saying that they have followed the pathway through the SEC to regulation, and now they're apparently a regulated exchange. So, and then the testimonies the last couple of days, they're all over Twitter, all over doing interviews, basically backing up Gary Gensler and saying being repeating, regurgitating Gary's talking points, right? Um, so here's my thing on it. Okay, you 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 take a demographic, a targeted uh, people who stand against um, institutions who stand with their finances, right? So we stand against um, government control and that kind of stuff when it comes to our money. That's why we're in crypto, most of us, right? Because we have principles when it comes to this stuff. So we're against the government controlling our money. And then that's your demographic that you're going after as an exchange. And you go and you very clearly take money, bribery, from that very same control factor that the demographic is against to try to gain a monopoly, and then you think that those same people, that same demographic, is going to use your exchange to buy stuff? You are literally everything that we stand against. And you think we're going to use, no one's going to use your exchange after what you've done here. Nobody. Maybe some new people, but for the most part, nobody's going to use your exchange. You can't be trusted. You took money from the government to regurgitate Gary Gensler's bullshit BS. Like, that's my take on it, right? Anyway, so we're gonna go through this, and this is where they're in trouble. This is where they're gonna get caught. Crypto lobbyist ask SEC for information on Prometheus, the mysterious regulated crypto firm. Um, the registered exchange backed Gary Gensler's viewpoints in front of Congress, but now it's in the hot seat. The Blockchain Association lawyer Melissa Kopel, hope I said that right, announced this morning that the trade group had filed a Freedom of Information Act request with the Securities and Exchange Commission seeking records relevant to Prometheum. A crypto broker, Prometheum CEO Alan Kaplan spoke before the House Financial Services Committee on Tuesday, broadly in support of Gary Gensler's SEC position on crypto regulation. Given that Prometheum is not widely known, Kaplan's appearance led to further scrutiny of the startup. Findings based on public records have since raised questions about the nature of Prometheum's business practices and relationships. Above all, many have questioned whether Prometheum has been accurate in presenting itself as a fully regulated crypto exchange, a claim that supports SEC Chairman Gary Gensler's position that existing regulations are sufficient for regulating crypto. Previously, this is a quote, you have argued, is previously you could have argued that there are regulations, but well, no one's been approved. So maybe there's no path under current rules, Prometheum CEO Aaron Kaplan told CoinDesk last month. But now that Prometheum Capital has been approved, that argument is moot. Despite its end quote. Despite this self characterization, Prometheum is not currently operational and there are major unanswered questions about its path forward. Capel wrote that the Blockchain Association decision to seek more information was driven by growing suspicions around Prometheum. Another quote: in the midst of aggressive SEC enforcement, Prometheum received approval for first of its kind special purpose broker dealer for digital asset securities. She wrote then, the CEO somehow gets a seat in front of Congress and argues that Prometheum represents the compliant path for digital assets. But Capel continued. Prometheum's claims are nonsense and not evidence of a path to compliance. Prometheum's ATS will not be able to trade any tokens despite their claims to the contrary unless projects first register with the SEC. At present, Prometheum is not operational, and in recent interview with CoinDesk could not identify assets it intended to trade with when it opened. Capel characterized these and other findings about Prometheum as suspicious. Some crypto leaders have speculated that Prometheum appearance before Congress represented a tactical effort to support the SEC's position in Tuesday's hearing. Analysts Adam Cochran and venture capitalist Matt Walsh lit the fuse on suspicions about Prometheum with a pair of dives into public information about them. They included suggestions that Prometheum had obtained funding from unconventional sources and had at one point planned to launch its own token. Also notable that the Prometheum leadership includes Aaron Kaplan, his brother Benjamin Kaplan, and his father Martin Kaplan. So it's family owned, who testified before Congress as a securities law expert. Earned his law degree from Thomas and Jeffery Law School. Walsh pointed out that while the Kaplans are being held up as security law experts, the school national accreditation was stripped by the American Bar Association in 2019 over concerns including the academic program there. Benjamin Kaplan. So their law degrees are not even valid, and they're sitting in front of Congress. Can you say maybe they were planted there by the Democrats much? So there's a whole bunch more here, guys, and I could read on, but basically, to sum it up for you guys, they've put forth, just like they did in the Ripple case, they put forth a Freedom of Information Act request, which the SEC, if they fight it, they'll just get sued for it, and they'll lose just like they did in the Ripple case, and they'll eventually have to turn over this information. So we're gonna get the information about the relationship between Prometheum and the SEC. It's all going to be laid out on the table, and then we're going to see what actually happened, what's actually going on here behind the scenes. This guy can spit all the garbage that he wants. Everybody knows he's full of crap. Nobody's going to believe him, right? You have a license to sell digital securities, which don't exist, but you have a license to sell them, but you don't sell any. I wonder why you don't sell any. Kind of weird that you have a license to sell some. You're apparently the only exchange that has a license to sell them, and you're not selling them? Sounds fishy to me. Anyway, guys, like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think.